ITS have just opened a brand new Chelmsford store and you have never seen another tool shop like it. Unless you've been to ITS Harlow, but they're not exactly the same. Let me show you around. Now immediately your eyes are going to be drawn over to the Powerzones over there. That's the names of all the brands that you love, but be patient, we'll get to that in a minute. First of all, let me walk you through the entrance where you're going to be greeted with our entire Vaunt section. Now Vaunt are known for accessories, their drill bits, for their saw blades, everything like that. And this is the biggest Vaunt section that you're going to be able to find anywhere. There ain't nothing like this. And to my side here, you also see they've got lighting, measuring tools. We've got the saw stands, we've got the steps, and over here we've got tool bags, tool belts, and again, hand tools down that row. This is a massive, massive section of a brand that you might not be that familiar with, but if you're not, then you should probably get to know it because there's some seriously impressive stuff in it. Now, as you can see, I'm walking my way into the workwear. A really massive section of workwear. We've got t-shirts, we've got jackets, we've got gilets. Over here, we've got trousers, we've got shorts, all your high visibility gear that you need. And of course, a huge range of work boots, and that's all the best work boots for you. We've got the Steel Blues, the Milwaukees, the DeWalts. Vaunt have got the work boots here as well, and there's more that I haven't actually touched on, especially the toe tectors. This is quite a new range. If you haven't become familiar with them, the range that they have is actually quite impressive. And I know on my right hand side, you can see the safety glasses, gloves, helmets, high vis. Again, this has got all the selection of workwear and PPE that you're gonna ever need. Now, as you can see behind me, we've got some hand tools. This is a massive selection of your levels and some gardening stuff as well. And as I walk in here, this is our everyday electrical range. Now, this is a new range to ITS, and it is basically what it says on the tin. It's going to cater to your electrical needs for your everyday. It's got all the main brands. It's got fuse box, it's got Wago, it's got Whisker, anything that you could possibly need. And look at this, we've got switches, all your wiring, even your electrical tape. Now, let's go and get a better view of the shop. We can get this from up here because up here we have got our landscaping range, and immediately you're going to see some steel stuff. Obviously probably the biggest name in landscape gardening. If you see any gardeners out and about, chances are they're using white and orange. But over here as well, we've got extra stuff, even Vaunt Home, we've got the oscillating fans, we've got the patio heaters. Again, anything you're going to need for your outdoors. Even got the Mount Field lawnmowers here as well. And what a view. It's worth coming up here just for this. Could take the missus here for a nice date. I'm getting distracted. On with the tour, on with the tour. Now here we've got our painting and decorating range, so it's not just the power tools that we're about. And even on the left of me now, right of me now, this is the hose lock gear. So again, stuff for your garden, we've got it all. And now I'm into a nice big Stanley section, again known for the hand tools primarily, but we've got all their tool bags, tool boxes, there's the tool belts here as well. And actually here we've got our Irwin section too. Now if you meet me around here, welcome to Ox. Again, Ox known for their hand tools, but they also have a really great range of spirit levels, and their speed skims and their saw blades as well are really, really worth checking out if you haven't done already. Now I've walked my way through into the fixings and fasteners section, all your screws and nails on this side, all your fixings and fasteners as well. Velocity there, again, massive range of tool bags from Velocity, all out on display for you to actually come and see, and just you can get a real feel for it, so you know how much stuff you can actually get in there. Same with the Vito Pro Packs here as well. And now if you're a tiler, you'll be familiar with Ruby, and look, you can just come here and actually see all this stuff out on display, which is probably something you can't get in many other places. I've walked my way now into Pazload. Again, one of the most famous names in the world of nail guns. If you know nailers, then you will be very familiar with your Pazloads already. Now it's getting exciting. Sealants and adhesives there. Don't think I touched on that earlier, but this is where the business end is. Into the Powerzones. Welcome to DeWalt, one of the biggest names in power tools, and the section that we have out on display for you, you will not be able to find anywhere else. Here, this entire section here is dedicated to DeWalt storage. Tool bags, all their toolboxes here as well. And it's worth mentioning this on the side here. This is shadow foam. So this is something that's new into us at ITS, but basically this is a way of storing your tools much more efficiently. Shadow foam will go into your toolboxes and your tools will then sit on that snugly. They ain't going anywhere. Of course, we've got the full 18 volt, 12 volt ranges. We've got corded, we've got cordless. On my right now, this is the full landscaping and gardening range that we have out on display. This is such an extensive display that you aren't going to be able to find anywhere else. Accessories for them here, and that's something that's worth mentioning. If you are familiar with our Harlow store, you'll know that the Powerzones strictly have the power tools in. That's not the case with this new Chelmsford store. If you come with me here, you're going to be able to see all of DeWalt's accessories and hand tools in the same zone as well. it's just going to make your experience so much easier, because if you're coming in, you're a DeWalt fan, you don't want to be looking at the other brands anyway, you know what you want. But it's not just about the big brands here. If you look at all across this back wall, there's all the other brands as well that have their own dedicated sections that you will not be familiar with seeing. Looking at Bosch now Bosch, they could have had one of the big power zones, because this is a seriously impressive, it's a massive professional range here, and this is a wall of accessories as well, which is a seriously good thing to have. On to Einhell. I think Einhell is probably the most underrated brand that we stock, and it's because people see it as a budget-friendly option. They don't think the quality is going to be there. But with Einhell, especially their professional ranges, their top-of-the-line stuff, it is seriously impressive, and honestly, really worth your time if you haven't considered using Einhell tools before. You won't be disappointed. Next door, Metabo. Of course, Metabo are known for their miter saws, because their miter saws are absolutely top of the line. But you've got the other stuff here for you to come and see. You've got your multi-tools, you've got your combis, stuff like that, that again, you won't be able to see elsewhere, because no one else will have the space. They wouldn't have dedicated the areas to these brands. We're doing it so you can come and see it. As you can see, it started getting a little bit blue. That's because we're in Makita. Let's start over here. Tool belts, tool pouches, tool bags, tool boxes, the Mac Pack system. Of course, we've got Mac Track on the way. That's worth waiting for. We've had a little look already. That is very impressive. And now I'm into Makita. So again, if you are familiar with a Harlow store, this is laid out slightly differently to that. So in our Harlow store, we've separated it by battery platforms. So you've got your 18 volt stuff in one place, you've got your 40 volt XGT in another place. In this shop, it is, you come in, I'm looking for a combi drill. You've got all your combis together, from your 12 volts to your 40 volts. And that's just gonna make your experience possibly a bit simpler. It depends how you like to shop, really. This is a really impressive range of tools that you are not going to be able to come and find anywhere else. So come on down, pick them up, have a feel for them, see which one looks for you. Maybe you're coming in thinking, I want a 40 volt tool, but you come and get your hands on a 18 volt SDS, and you think, actually, this 18 volt is going to do fine, and I don't want to be lugging a 40 volt around. That's the benefit you get by coming into store and seeing exactly what they are like in person. Massive gardening range as well. Again, lawnmowers, chainsaws, hedge trimmers, brush cutters, everything that you could possibly want, you'll be able to come and have a look at. Now we've got a power tool zone. So this is for the brands that we don't have quite as much stock for, but again, the fact that we can offer you to come and have a look at some Evolution stuff. It's a UK brand, people love Evolution. Come have a look, come and get your hands on it. We stock it here. Into Hikoki. Now, Hikoki are probably most famous for their nail guns, because the nail guns are really impressive. But if that's all you associate with Hikoki, then you're missing out. Because the range of tools that they have that people might not know they do, or even given the time of day to, you're definitely missing out, because this is some seriously high quality stuff that we have in store for you to come and have a look at, get your hands on with it. And now I've walked my way into Festool. Seriously premium brand. And if you're a carpenter, a joiner, you work with wood, I probably don't need to tell you this because you know it all already. But this stuff is absolutely top of the line. Unbelievable range. I mean, this TS55, probably one of the most famous plunge saws out there. We've got it just here, so you can just come and have a look at it, see what all the fuss is about. And what I would also mention is, I'm walking around these power zones, and it sounds silly to say this, but if you don't find what you're looking for in here, which is extremely unlikely anyway, we've got these QR codes all around so that you can actually scan that and see the range we do have on our website. So this isn't all of our stock, of course. You might have noticed I've started turning a little bit red, and that's because I'm surrounded by the Milwaukee power zone. If you follow any influencer on your socials, chances are they're repping Milwaukee. And that is why we have dedicated this huge space to them. And again, you'll see on my side here, we've got our accessories, we've got our hand tools. And again, it is laid out as easy and simply as it can possibly be. You're looking for an impact driver, come and have a look at the full range of Milwaukee impact drivers. It's all there for you. What other tool shop could you possibly walk into? And this amount of space is dedicated to Milwaukee lighting. There's nowhere else you'll find this. This is why you have to come to an ITS store to get this full experience. We've got the radios here, we've got stuff that I've not even mentioned half the stuff that I'm walking past. Here you've got your Milwaukee gloves, safety glasses. Again, this is what touches on what I said earlier. You come into this zone, everything from Milwaukee is going to be here for you to find. Massive, massive gardening range with Milwaukee and really, really high quality stuff. And of course, now we're getting to the pack out. This is one of the things Milwaukee's known for, is their unbelievable storage solutions. And the pack out is probably some of the best storage that you can find on the market because there's such an extensive range. They've developed it so thoroughly. This on the side here is all their wall mounted that you can get. On my right over here, you've got their flasks, their bottles, all compatible with pack out. Again, more pack out stuff. So we've got the tool bags, the tool pouches. And now as I leave Milwaukee, I'm gonna talk you through our hot deals section. Now these little areas here, you'll see some on my right here, and you'll see some that I'm gonna walk you by in a second. This is where we think you're gonna get the best value. We've got absolute bargains in here. This is sort of how you'd think of your Lidl's or your Aldi's middle aisles, where every time you go in, there might be something slightly different in there. That's why it's always worth coming back in, because you never know what deal you're gonna find in there. And now as I walk you through here to the front of the tills, you're gonna see this big shadow foam board. Now I mentioned shadow foam earlier, but this is a much easier way of explaining what it actually does. I think this one might be a better one to show you on this clearly for Makita here. Your drill, your combi, your impact driver is gonna fit snugly in that. It ain't going anywhere in transit. Along the back of the tills, you're gonna see accessories, more hand tools. Again, as if you haven't seen enough accessories on the way around. Anything that you feel like you might have missed out on is gonna be here for you behind the tills. And of course, we've got a friendly and helpful shop staff here. They're all experts in what they do. So if you're a tradie, maybe you love DIY or you just love power tools, then there is no better place to come than to an ITS store. And ITS Chelmsford has just opened. The amount of stuff I've spoken about in here, and I know I've barely scratched the surface, but you don't have to just come in and look around for ages. We do offer click and collect at all of our stores, so you can do that as well. But if you do want to come and have a look, I know I haven't told you enough, so maybe just come and see for yourself.